Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now I had a comment on one of my previous money builds the other day saying that this Sauber was a great grinder for Sardinia. Now I mostly use the 787B in terms of the Group C machinery in GT7 to grind money. However, it kind of got me thinking, look, I've had the Sauber a long time. It's not something I really use. So maybe this will be a good opportunity to just find out, how capable it is. And it turns out it's probably one of the best grinding methods currently within GT7 just because of how easy it is. So let's get into the build. Super simple build this one because the suspension and the differential doesn't affect performance points anymore. You can essentially tune it to your heart's content. However, I will give you a brief overview of what mine is. So you're going to run the race in hards. In terms of body height adjustments, I've got mine set to 55, 65. Anti-roll bars 5 for both. Damping ratio compression is 25 for both. Damping ratio expansion is again 45 for both. Natural frequency is 4.00 for both. Negative camber angle up next will be a little bit different. That will be 3.0 at the front and then 2.5 at the rear. Toe angle, this is a bit of a weird one because obviously you have to go off the symbol, so it's outwards at the front 0.10 and inwards 0.20 at the rear. On terms of the differential, it's set to 25, 40 and 50. Now transmission, I've left this as the normal transmission, no change in that. Ballast, we're running 69 with a positioning of -50. We're running no restrictions in terms of power on this build, which is a good thing about the new system we kind of have in place. Downforce is 500 at the front and 1600 at the rear. And then on the right hand side, nothing else has changed. There's no perma mods or turbo or anything like that. So this is why I absolutely love this method. Now it's going to be quite a quick one because there's not much to talk about. Sardinia's, pretty straightforward at this point, but I'll show you my opening lap and just talk to you about this build and such. Now obviously we have nerfed the downforce a bit, so you won't get the downforce you do in its kind of standard form. Overall it's not too twitchy. It may require a bit of throttle control every now and again, but it's not to the point where it kind of kicks itself around like a lot of the default Group C cars do. Now the best thing about this build is the fact you can run it in fuel mix power 1 the whole way. Now at the end I will turn down the fuel mix a little bit. This is just to ensure I get to the end of the race, but like most Group C machines, the fuel consumption is the major highlight here. You have the same thing with the McLaren MP4-4. The 7.8B is absolutely exceptional at fuel saving, and again so is this one. So it's actually a one pit stop method, meaning that you're not having to pit 2 or 3 times like you may do in some of the Group 3 machineries, or if you ever try and bring a road car at Sardinia. So it really does help that you can just do a quick pit stop and away you go. Thankfully the pit time here at Sardinia really isn't much at all. In terms of kind of comparing it to maybe some that I've done in the past, which would be the Jaguar and the 787B, it's right up there. Now obviously I haven't tested the 787B since the latest update. In fact I kind of took a step back from money grinding, but you guys wanted to have some fresh grinds and such, and some stuff working for update 1.24. So it is giving me some I guess new feelings to some previous builds. Now I'm trying to also currently work on the Toyota, but it's a little bit of a hit and miss car at the minute. I'm finding that it's not as good as it once was. So for me this is definitely one of the standouts, especially around Sardinia. Now onto lap 2. This is where, between lap 2 and 3 was really where you should be sort of overtaking the leader. At this point you're probably never going to see them again. You're going to lap the majority of the field pretty easily. On average I was setting lap times anywhere between sort of 136s and 138, so overall kind of 1 lap pace is absolutely awesome, and the fuel consumption, like you can see, is much better than the Group 3 machinery around you. As you can see, they are pitting anywhere from between, I believe, like lap 3 they start pitting, lap 6 up to lap 6, and then they kind of pit again towards the end, second half of the race. So as you can see, it's really easy. While they're all pitting, you're basically just extending your gap. In terms of the tyre life, the car feels great even when the tyres start kind of dropping off. You don't really feel it too much. I recommend doing your first and only pit stop around about lap 7, so towards the end of lap 7 going on to lap 8, you're just going to put yourself a new set of hard tyres on and fill the car to full. As you can see, we only had 1% fuel remaining, and according to this we had a cruising range of 0. So I do recommend filling it to full, and then you're just going to go ahead and pretty much sprint all the way to around about lap 13, in which case we'll sort of turn the engine down just to ensure we've got enough fuel. You can probably do it by just lifting and coasting for the second stint, instead of turning the engine down, but I would recommend just, you know, for the about halfway through lap 13, just turn the engine down and you'll have plenty enough fuel. So basically last you the whole race. As you can see, AI almost wiping out each other there as we come out of the pit. So yeah, super straightforward this method. You know, we'll just sort of cover the main bits. As you can see, we are just turning the engine down on lap 13. This is where I recommend, you know, just turn it down a little nudge. Usually when you're kind of in fuel, max fuel mode, you'll use about 15% of fuel. Once you're in fuel mix 6, you're using like literally next to nothing. That fuel consumption of the Group C is really coming in handy, and it's a very, very fast car, especially in a straight line without the horrible kind of, you know, twitch and snap that some of these Group Cs can have in their more default form. But you can play around with the suspension of this thing. So overall, we did this in 25 minutes, 19.690. I did have a couple of offs, so I'd probably say it is possible to get this thing around about 25 minutes dead. We did a fastest lap on lap 12 of a 136.668. So again, like I said, the one lap pace is, you know, absolutely excellent with this thing. You know, combined with the excellent fuel consumption, meaning that you can pretty much just, you know, hang the car out and do a one stop. So I cannot remember the name of the commenter for the life of me, but whoever you are, you probably, you know, will know who you are. Thank you so much for actually recommending this car to me. Now, in the previous Gran Turismo games, this was really a car that I absolutely loved. I've had it in my garage for ages within GT7, but never really covered it, never really used it, because I'm just, you know, I'm kind of a 787B guy. So this one kind of took a back seat. However, since using it, I can fully say that I will more than likely, you know, be using this when I just want some quick, easy money where I can sit back and not have to worry too much about strategy. Massive shout out to the controller people for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check them out in the link down below. Check out the Discord. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Turn those notifications on so you don't miss a daily upload from myself. I'll be covering money guides for the rest of the week, as well as a glitch build which is returning as of update 1.24. Take care, guys. Peace.